you sitting so far away from me?
Why are you sitting so far away from me?
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with you?
All right, fuck it. I like you more than Joel.
All I gotta say is,
Don't tell Joel I said that.
Matt, really, we couldn't get 5 fucking mics for this panel? What happened?
That's a Bethany problem.
Is that real? We don't have 5 mics?
No. Matt and I will share. We're used to it.
Does
Don't make
anyone
it
in the audience
gross.
have a mic?
Welcome to the Founding Fathers panel.
I'd like to point out only 3 of us are actually fathers.
That we
2
know
of.
of,
Us are
wink.
losers. No, not naming anybody. Name rhymes with muss.
I'm
Mole.
doing the world a favor.
You are.
Yeah.
There does not need to be any more of you.
There does not need to be any more Gus's in here. This is a cool room.
If you were to have a child, and it was a boy, a sweet little half, Asian Mexican boy, would you name him Gustavo Raul Sorolla the 10th or whatever?
More
Was it the
importantly, can
4th?
you teach him to cook?
Would you continue that thing?
Sure, why not?
All right. You're clapping for a name?
Jeff,
Makes no goddamn sense.
that's my mom.
Oh. Oh, hey, Maria, how's it going? Well, then it doesn't make a little bit of sense. Yeah.
Then I won't make the joke I was going to make, which is they're clapping for a shitty name. You guys in Gus's family, just earmuffs the rest of the time that you're here.
Hey, before we get started, I don't want to start on a downer, but I did want to say one serious thing. It's great to see everybody here, and every time I'm with all of you guys, I'm reminded what an awesome and tight-knit community this is. There's some sad news today that on the way here, there were 5 RTX attendees that died in a car crash out in East Texas. Unfortunately, it was not their fault. It sounds like it was the other driver's fault, driving in the wrong lane in the middle of the night. But I wanted to bring it up specifically to say to everybody, please be safe. Again, this wasn't their fault, but I think it just underscores the importance of this is a big event, big convention. I want you all to have a wonderful time and leave here with the best memories of your lives. And let's just be careful, be safe, and let's all have a great time together. And we love you.
I think back to when we first started Rooster Teeth with a spare bedroom in my house in Buda, Texas. It was like we had no idea how much the community was going to grow. And we've had, some tragedies like that have happened over the years, but also a lot of, successes and amazing milestones. I mean, one of the things, Gus and Jeff, and going to conventions, one of the things we've always noted is that, first of all, we're getting really fucking old.
Yeah. No.
But also,
No, it's true.
so are all of you.
You guys stay the same age somehow. It's annoying.
But we've met people, though, that's like they started watching. Gavin's a great example, so is Barbara. But we've met people that we see them, and a few years later, or a decade later, we see them, and now they're married, and they have kids, or, they met through the community as well. So it's been what a crazy adventure.
When we first met Gavino, he was an actual embryo. And he was just like, hi, my name is Joel. He's like...
It's the best Gavin impression I've ever seen.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories is the last time I went to PAX, which was a very long time ago. I went with Gus. And some kid came up and he goes, hey, Gus, I'm a huge fan. And Gus is like, yeah, thanks. I'm super famous. And I'm
Whatever,
really
kid.
talented and cool. And he was like, man, can I buy you a drink? And Gus was like, alcohol, yes. And and the kid goes, cool, man. Yeah, anyway, it's an honor to buy you a drink. I've been watching you since I was in 6th grade. And the look on Gus's face when he realized how old that made him was phenomenal. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like...
He was like, he aged 3 years in that moment.
Yeah. That sticks with you.
What's that?
That
It's
sticks
the
with you.
kind of thing you don't forget.
Yeah.
Dude, Matt and I had the "How old are you" moment at Comic-Con this year, where somebody came by the booth to take a picture and get a DVD signed, and he happened to be wearing, he's like a 19-year-old kid, he's wearing a Star-Lord cosplay costume. It was awesome. And I said, oh, your costume, your Guardians of the Galaxy costume is awesome. He goes, thanks, I just won the Marvel, male cosplay. I go, that's really cool. I go, oh, look, you even have the Walkman, because he had the red goggles and
Yeah,
the
of course.
Walkman and the headphones. And when I said Walkman, he looked down, he goes, yeah, I goes, I'd never seen one of these things before. So I start getting all wrinkly as I'm hearing this. He goes, so I just went online and looked up photos of it, and I 3D printed this and then painted it.
No.
Yeah. So. I just literally crumbled into dust, just blew away. It's like the last scene of that Indiana Jones movie.
Fucking saddest thing I've ever
So
heard.
do we all have to tell like how old we are stories on the Founding Fathers panel? Is that what's going on? Last night at Side Quest, I took a photo with a girl, a selfie, and I said, did it come out all right? How's it look? And she looks at it and she goes, nice dad face.
But by the way, what is that?
What
what
is
is that face? That's the one. That's the one.
Doesn't your dad make that face? And then like 2 minutes after that, I was talking with somebody else, and we started talking about sneakers, and I said, yeah, what I really want is for Rooster Teeth to start making a line of sneakers. We're going to do those like pump it up sneakers like they had in the 80s. Remember those? And he's like, I wasn't alive in the 80s. I'm 15.
Like our fan
But
base.
it's still a good idea.
I still can't grow a beard.
You can't do what?
I
You can't do
still
what?
can't grow a beard, and but you guys can now.
Which is weird because you're like 49.
No. Listen, I'm getting fucking younger. Fuck these guys.
I'm gonna tell you guys I'll tell you guys an internal thing. None of us actually know how old Joel is, and
Yeah.
we've been trying to figure out for 13 years, and we don't know. We can't figure it out. He tells conflicting stories.
Yeah.
He talks about being in high school in '79. Like
79.
We're hoping that the carbon dating is going to come back soon.
nobody knows.
Yeah. After prom, Joel would see Star Wars. in
We
the
also
movie
don't
theater.
see him outside in the daytime, so he might be a vampire. Seriously though, how old are you?
No questions at the panel.
Yeah.
No questions at the panel.
I get something. So we're talking about the Founders Panel. Bernie and I were talking the other day about how far we've come and just the growth of Rooster Teeth and the community and everything. And I thought it'd be fun to look back at the first trailer we ever made. If you guys, I don't know if everybody's even seen this. It's on our DVDs.
What is this?
But this was the video that Bernie made that convinced everybody that this was not a terrible idea.
This would have been in 2002 then?
Yeah.
The window that you got then is like the size of a postage stamp, too.
That's all
Was
we
this
have.
the trailer?
And there's only actual 3 moving pixels in this, so you have to use your
What's-
imagination.
Was this the thing
This is
Bernie
the actual
made to
size.
show
This
us
is the original actual size.
to explain what machinima was to us?
Yeah.
Because we didn't understand.
Render vision.
Yeah.
Nice font.
You really went all out.
In the year 2552, in the last year of the Covenant invasion of the outer planets,
Listen to that baby.
a hero arose,
Sounds so
a
serious.
cyborg known only by the name Master Chief. He led the Covenant to the edge of space, to a ring world called Halo. It was on Halo that Master Chief learned the grand plan of the Covenant Armada, to destroy humanity and its homeworld, Earth. Using the defenses of Halo, he destroyed the ring world and the Covenant Armada along with it. The invasion was over. Unknown to the people of Earth, the Covenant were planning to return. But in the time between the first and second Covenant invasion, there was a brief but violent period of civil war among humans. Man fighting man. Red versus blue. This is the story of the... What is that? What are you doing? Well, don't paraphrase. Don't... Look, I read what's in the script, and you type whatever I say, okay? So just type whatever I say. No, don't type everything I say. Just type what... It's in the damn... That's not funny. All right, now that... Okay, that's gotta... take that off, because that is... For number one, that's offensive, and secondly... I am not a cockbite. Seriously. I am not a cockbite. That is rude. Fucking logo, okay? Just put up the logo. assholes.
Huh. What do you think about that? Yeah, I think somebody owes me the last 2 minutes of my life back.
Ah.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's slated to come out in the summer of 2016.
Man, people in 2003 had some low-ass standards.
I really wish, there's one reason I wish, more than anything, there's one reason that drives my desire for a time machine. And so we can go back and remove the reference to the word cockbite, so our company could be named literally anything else other than
Any decent
any
fucking name
that I don't
yeah.
have to spell on the fucking phone,
Yeah.
or I don't have to hear, roosters don't have teeth, do they? No, they don't. It's just a
That's
name.
the joke. I call that our hoobastank problem. It's so funny too, because like we know Eddie's in the Bare Naked Ladies, and he's like, when we first started working with those guys and started making videos for them, they go, just for the love of God, don't make any jokes about Bare Naked Ladies, because we're fucking sick of all of them. And it's happened so much. It's like over the years that we didn't have Rooster Teeth at that point in time, but we wanted to make a brand that people understood that there was going to be more than just this one show, because we didn't want to name the channel or the site.
And that we might have poultry and supply dental services to people.
Those two.
Coming in the summer of 2016.
But they wouldn't let us register Cockbite Productions at the state of Texas because they're smart people. And so we registered Rooster Teeth and said it was like the whole name of the company is based on a nod to, what the community first latched onto, even from the first videos. But, Gus and Jeff are right. That little clip at the end with Griffin Simmons talking on top of the bass, that was to demonstrate to people what I was talking about when I wanted to use the video game to make a show. Because up until then, I think people thought I wanted to make cutscenes or something
We had
else.
no fucking clue. You were just like,
Yeah. So I went home and made that over the course of the weekend. There's like 2 seconds of machinima in it, but it was really a proof of concept more than anything else.
And before you figured out how to lower the guns.
Yeah.
Too, noticing that
Yeah.
they've got the guns up in that. So I thought that was fun to look back on, and then I thought it might be cool. It's 12 and a half years later. We should look at the newest trailer that we've just made. You guys
yeah.
want
let's
to-
do it.
Is this the one that's online?
I don't think you've seen this one before.
Not seen this one. Yeah.
12 and a half years, but same number of dick jokes.
Yeah. Also realize you're clapping for a decisive lack of Jeff in that trailer.
I want to say
I don't know where he was.
That was one of the greatest days of my life. Was that in the final shot you can see me in that trailer,
Scientist Gus.
Scientist Gus, because I got to be naked in front of the camera next to a naked Playboy playmate.
Yes.
So it was the ultimate yin and yang, like Beauty and the Beast kind of deal.
That was my field of vision was naked Playboy playmate, naked Gus. And like my right eye was trying so hard to roll back into my head the entire time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the RTA panel a little bit, but if there's anything like we're not sure in a script, if anyone wants to do it, we just write Gus's name there by default, because he'll pretty much do anything. He doesn't care.
I don't care.
Take your
Whatever.
pants off.
I'll take my pants off.
Do it right now.
My mom's right over there.
She's seen it.
Not recently. Jesus.
How do I know?
Shit happening inside of that table.
But it's been interesting seeing all of the different scope. Like you talk about, we started, not wanting to pigeonhole ourselves into one project and trying to imagine all these other things, and just watching it grow. I think the last time we talked, we counted, we were doing, and this was 6 to 8 months ago. We were doing 42 shows a week, 42 different shows a week.
Yep.
And now I think it's above that.
Well, yeah, not every week, but there's 42 shows in the slate, that we do, and now it's creeping up towards 50, and then there's a lot of stuff that we have yet to talk about that we haven't announced yet. So, but there'll be some of that stuff going on here while we're at RTX all this weekend. We'll be talking about some of the new products we have coming down the line.
We should invest in quality control. 42? Jesus Christ.
I know it's been crazy. Like I was just trying to catalog everything that's happened since the last RTX, the new releases that we've had, and I just had trouble even keeping up. I mean, Social Disorder, I think we launched that just right after RTX last year. Ruby Season 2, and working on Season 3 now, and just it's just been pretty much a whirlwind. And this year we're really trying hard to focus more on our website. I hope a lot of you have been on the new website since it's launched. Cool. We've enjoyed rolling that out. That's the first major update to the site, if you can believe this, since 2004. So Adam was pretty happy to get that up off the ground. And we're focusing on a lot of new content for the site. A lot of you know about Free Play. We launched that. There'll be new episodes of that in how long, Bernie? About a couple weeks to a month?
At this point, yeah.
And I'm also happy to tell you all that we're working on a new show with Colton Dunn. Yeah.
Stand up, Colton. No, don't fist pump. Stand up.
So we're going to have more details about that later, but we're really trying to put a focus on making the website experience and the app experience. We've got some new apps coming out soon. Just amazing for you guys, and I think you're going to be really happy with what's in store in the next coming months.
And I was talking with Marcy, who's helps me out over the course of the whole weekend with RTX, and she was with me last year as well. And it's hard to believe that it was just this time last year when we were wrapping up the crowdfunding campaign when we broke the record for the most funded movie ever on Indiegogo, the most funded anything on Indiegogo. And that is thanks to all of you.
Yep.
And we are so excited to be done with Laser Team, and we're just wrapping up the last little bits of post-production. Matt's actually leaving right after this panel to go, we have some people in town where he can go do some ADR recording with them. But we're in the last stages, and I know one of the big questions people have is, when is the movie coming out? Matt, can you talk about that?
Soon. So you know what? So Bernie and I were trying to figure out how to talk about this earlier because we can't announce the release date yet. And I think Bernie's plan was, I'm just going to leave Matt hanging out to dry.
Yeah.
It was basically his plan.
Yeah, Matt, hey, I just want to let you know I figured out how to talk about it. I'm going to ask you on stage.
Yeah.
Can you say what the release date rhymes with?
When you say soon, is it like Fallout
It's
Shelter
gonna be-
soon or Duke Nukem soon?
It will be out this winter. It's been really
February?
interesting. What's that?
Manuary?
It'll be out this winter, and
I like that we've set up a panel where now we get to ask you questions.
I know what's going on. I have 4 moderators. It's
Who's your
terrible.
favorite character, Matt?
Not Caboose.
Well, that makes
on,
sense.
that was a layup.
Caboose is not an actor. That makes total sense.
Anyway, we'll have more. We actually are going to have a bunch of announcements in about 2 weeks, so stay tuned to the website for that.
We've entered the heckling portion of the panel.
Strangerhood. Grace.
That's a bad word, sir.
Yeah, go to the animation panel. Strangerhood.
Screaming Strangerhood out in the middle of a panel is just like the worst heckle that you could Strangerhood! Stop drinking, sir. You've had enough. I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Honestly, I thought we all had enough Strangerhood, but you guys wanted it apparently. And we're gonna do it again.
Not really though.
Did you hear it? I heard a woo.
I heard a guy. How many of you wooing have ever seen it?
No.
No, I know because I saw how many DVDs we sold. That's a lot.
We took the rest of the DVDs
I mailed those DVDs to you.
out to the desert and buried them next to the E.T. game. Now the E.T. game has a friend. E.T. needs
E.T.
the Strangerhood. Just keep drinking over there.
E.T. phone Wade.
Jesus Christ, you have a Strangerhood DVD on you?
How
You're
is
the coolest, saddest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
That's
how
amazing.
how was your expedition to New Mexico? Did you bring back any dinosaur bones? Also, those have value.
It's like the kind of thing where if I had something cool to give away, I would totally give it to you, but I don't. So
Would you like a glass?
Gus, it's okay. She clearly doesn't want cool stuff. I think the Strangerhood DVDs are now like a checkbox in our shopping cart that you forgot to uncheck when you checked out.
Yeah, it's like how when
Instead
you
of the, like,
create
when-
an account on YouTube, you're auto-subscribed to PewDiePie. It's kind of similar thing. Like when you go to our store, you have to uncheck Strangerhood.
well, they got
I
dark.
don't know why you
fast.
guys are laughing. It's kind of sad. You put a lot of work into that show.
Yeah.
And now the Strangerhood 2 trailer.
No.
No.
When did that?
All
When
right.
happened?
Go to the animation panel. All right, you want to start taking some questions from the audience? You guys cool with that? You want to start questions? From the
I don't give a fuck. We were going to do it at 30 minutes. It's 33 minutes and 58 seconds, but
So
sure.
they better have 3 minutes of really great
Gonna
questions. Then.
Jump the gun.
Well, they got to line up and stuff. You know how it goes. No running. No running. I see you,
running.
blue hair.
Safety first.
Walk. I want to say that in general. Walk around the convention center, please. It makes my stomach turn when I see people running.
You're so old.
Do we want to start? Do we want
No,
to
I'm
start
just
with the
running
left?
this
Wait. Okay, real
You're
quick,
not
guys.
running anything. You're walking this thing.
I'm walking this thing.
Before we start, we've been doing these panels for a long time.
Long time.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do a little pre-screening here real quick. Over here I see a guy in a Reaper costume. He's about 6 people in, but I want you to pay particular attention to the dude with the bag on his head and no shirt.
That's Mr. Diddles.
Let's be veterans up here. He's about 10 people in. We're gonna take about 9 questions. How does that sound for you guys?
We gonna shut it down right before Mr. Diddles. That doesn't even work here anymore. What are you clapping about?
This side, you guys look boring. You're cool. Okay, you're fine. We'll start over here. How about you?
If Rooster Teeth never existed, what would you see yourselves doing today?
That's a really sad question.
I guess Gus and I would still be doing tech support for Bernie.
No, I would have been successful.
Where would you be naked, Gus, if you couldn't be naked for Rooster Teeth?
I'd be naked in a van down by the river.
Gus would be appearing in police lineups all over town.
You get paid for that, right?
Yeah, number 4.
Wow.
Joel, still be a vampire?
I would be holding a panel out in the parking lot. Air conditioning is cool.
The title of the panel is "Give Me Change."
I just wanted to give you the word that means somebody smarter than me is working on the problem.
I would love to hear this. We want to know what the answer to that question is. What is that word?
Fidescience. It comes from the Latin fide, meaning faith, and scientia, meaning knowledge. So literally, faith in knowledge. So, fidescience.
It sounds too much like flatulence.
All right, over here.
Sweet.
How did you guys get organized? And if
Sorry. I didn't mean.
and if I give Jeff my wallet to sign, will he steal my money?
I'm sorry, Jehovah? What's that? Do you want me to sign your wallet? Is that what he said? Is there any money in it? I don't give a fuck, dude. I'll sign anything.
No, we're not signing anything
I
at
signed
the
a
panel.
dildo earlier today. I don't care.
We can't
You guys
sign.
have probably seen it. It's blue.
We can't say anything at the panel.
Oh, I can't
We
sign
can't say
it.
anything at the panel. We'll meet us later. What was your first question? I don't even remember it.
Sorry, dude. Gus cockblocked
Oh,
you.
how do we get organized?
I think
Yeah.
his question is, why aren't you guys fucking organized?
What? Organization? It's always been interesting working at Rooster Teeth, even as we've scaled from a small group of people to a large
Group of people.
company now.
Why did you say company in quotes, asshole? What does that mean? All of our employees who work hard.
We had a friend of ours who does he does the business development for another company. This is years ago when we were still in the Congress office. He came down and sat with us and watched us work for 3 days. And this was when there were only, I think, 9 of our employees.
Who was this?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
And after being in the office for 3 days, he said, I don't understand how y'all get anything done. He said, there's no organization at all in this company. You all just seemingly do whatever you want, and somehow mysteriously you release videos.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to everyone, despite the goof-off nature of everything, everyone's super passionate about the things that they work on, and they want to see their individual projects succeed. So no matter how much work it takes, they're really dedicated to executing on that.
What's your passion, Liz?
My passion's you, Jeff.
That's not true. That's not true. He never calls.
It's actually, the organization is actually a lot different than it used to be, too. We used to have to stop whatever we were doing to work on something we were supposed to work on. Like, we'd have to rotate through. Like, we'd work on a show, then we'd stop working on the show, we'd work on the store, then we'd stop working on the store, we'd work on the site, we'd stop working on the site, we'd go to events, we'd stop going to events, we'd go back to work on the show.
Yeah.
And we'd have stop spiraling around. We'd get around back to things eventually. But now we're at a point where we have grown so much as a company that we can work on everything all the time. And it's taken us a while to get there, but I'm glad we're finally in that place.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life was to start Achievement Hunter, because every time I would sit down to work on it, you guys would be like, that's cute. Seriously, though, help me with the shot. Hold the mic. You're the boom today. You're the boom operator.
Quit playing video games.
Yeah, like, what are you doing, asshole? Like, fucking Griff's got to talk, or whatever. Yeah.
There was, literally was that time, a million times, where it's like people are working in the office, doing this, that, and the other thing, and it's like I had to organize my day around shots that had multiple people in it. And it's like, okay, this shot has 6 people in it, so, okay, when are they all in the office? Okay, get all the shots that have 6 people in it. Get all the shots that have people in it.
And now, you're talking about red versus blue, machinima shots, where everybody all have to grab the controller together.
People on the controller.
And like, I still, when I go by Miles and Kyle's desk and see them working on red versus blue scene that has 20 characters in it, and everybody's crowded around there working on it together, I get cold sweats. Yeah. Just thinking about how difficult that was and how much time we spent on those shots, and Jeff controlling 4 controllers at the same time, 2 with his feet. I mean, it was like, and now we actually have enough people to do it.
The thing that kills me about that is I go by their desks, and I'll see them, and they'll be like, all right, Simmons is going to talk now. And they're like, do-do-do-do-do-do. And they're like, that was good. And I'm like, really? That was good? That's the head bobbing that you're, that's good to you? That's acceptable to you? That's what red versus blue is now?
2015.
Motherfuckers!
I mean, say what you will about Jeff. That motherfucker can head bob.
Yeah, he can.
He is the best person on the planet Earth when it comes to head bobbing, and it's a thing. I mean, it is a fucking thing. No, I mean, it was like a really thing. It was like, oh, this guy has the most dialogue. This shot's hard. Jeff gets the controller. It's the thing.
Yeah, you can make a lot of money as a good head bobber these days. But you guys will be happy to know this. The amount of time we spent doing it has not bred like any kind of compassion for me, for the people who work on it now. I just recently learned that they've moved all the machinima stations and all those Xboxes and all those monitors against a wall where all those outlets are controlled by a switch that's in the kitchen. And occasionally someone will just reach up and hit the switch and turn off all their boxes and ruin their shot. And once I learned about that, I had so much fun with that switch. That was a blast.
Well, they should be on battery backups. That's their
Why
own
am I
fault.
just learning about this switch? It's like, what? This is amazing.
Dude, you haven't lived as you've seen Josh Ornealis come around that corner mad as hell.
No, he will come out like, who did it? Who flipped the switch?
Why would we fucking wire the building like that? What in the fuck are we doing?
That's awesome.
This goes back to the organized question that we faced.
It's in the kitchen.
All right, I'm going to flip every switch in the goddamn kitchen every day. That's exciting.
Careful, the one right by the door takes down the website.
All right, so my question is, are you guys ever going to do, like...
No.
Thanks for asking.
Are you guys going to go back to, like, the original Halos, like you did for the first seasons of Red vs. Blue for, like, 14 or 15 seasons?
That's the Red versus Blue panel. This is the Founding Fathers panel.
Wow.
No, I think Matt and Bernie, you guys can talk about that. You got a thing for season 14, right?
Yeah, we have a totally different approach. Do you want to talk a little bit about it? Okay, so the approach for season 14, we have points in the storyline for Red versus Blue where we wrap up a lot of plot points. Season 13 is going to be one of those because it's a 3-season arc. So the plan next year for Red versus Blue is going to be an entirely different season of the show where we're not going to have 19 continuous episodes. We're going to have a number of 2 to 3 episode arcs, short stories that are authored by different writers and directed by different directors and other people who create content all over the web. So it should be an amazing compilation of really cool stories told in the Red versus Blue universe, but not by the voices of Rooster Teeth. It'll have some Rooster Teeth characters in it, so it should be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to it.
It's
fan fiction.
I actually, the other day, I sat down to do a director's commentary of the Blood Gulch Chronicles with Bernie and Matt for some reason. I don't know what that was for, but we sat down for like an hour and we watched Red vs. Blue together and talked about it. And at the end, I said I got kind of nostalgic, as you do when you get as old and close to death as I am. And I said, wouldn't it be funny if like we just got together and made a video in Halo 1 together? Like, do you think we could do it still? And they were like, ha, fuck you. I was like, I guess, all right, never mind. Sorry. Over here.
Hi. What is the most frustrating but rewarding thing about being a founding father at Rooster Teeth?
Kids these days. All these fucking kids fucking coming to the fucking company. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Fucking growing fucking beards and walking around.
So the most frustrating thing I can tell you, it's a tangent of what Joel's saying. It's
Joel.
Listen, we were talking backstage and we were like, man, some people are complaining that they don't have drink tickets. Listen, back in the day, we would go to the liquor store and we would cross through the gate illegally with the liquor in our bag. No problem.
Joel is still 49 even back then.
You're ball off my lawn.
I always get frustrated when I hear one of the newer employees giving an orientation or a tour or a history to an even newer employee.
Yes.
Like, yeah, back in 2010, Gus and Joel and Bernie started the company on the moon. And I'm like, no. And then Jeff and Matt joined somewhere on Mars. I'm like, no, that's not right either. And it's like, hey, do you not know? Like how we started this company?
I do. It is. Sometimes you go into the kitchen and you're like getting a Dr. Pepper, not liquor, just a Dr. Pepper, or whatever. And somebody's like, "Hey, you work here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I work here. I'm in the fucking kitchen with you." And they're like, "How long you worked here?" And I'm like, "Since forever. Since the day that I made your job." Like, what? Who are you? Whose department do you work in?
You're fired. Get your shit out of here now. Love them all.
Since y'all made
salt of the earth, great people.
Since y'all made fun of the younger staff, I'm actually going to compliment them just to balance things out, because what came to mind when you asked that question for me was, we thought we were the shit for like the longest time. We were awesome. We were so, amazed by what we had created and everything, and this whole community is amazing. But we have this whole staff now that's way more talented than we are.
Yeah.
And they do stuff that we could never do, and they make amazing stuff every single day, and we're lucky to work with them.
They have like a bunch of like 3D printed like Walkmans.
Yes.
Hey, Matt Holm, can I ask you a question?
No.
How many employees does Rooster Teeth have? Do you know?
I think 115.
Fuck
now.
Christ.
Yeah. You can clap for that. Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're great. They're great.
Yeah. It's like as many employees as the fucking tech support company we quit at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And to speak to your point, Matt, I feel like in a lot of departments, we've hired essentially like an all-star team to do, certain projects. And you look at the work that they put out, or like even their resumes and their reels, or the stuff they've done in the past, like, that's fucking amazing. Why are you working here?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Oh yeah, you have like an editor who was like a rocket science major or something.
I have an editor who's a rocket scientist.
He's a fucking editor. He edits.
Traco?
We're like taking talented people out of NASA to edit Michael and Gavin screaming.
Is Trevor in here right now? Trevor, are
what
you in
in
here?
The fuck
you
are we doing?
Stuff that you're probably fixing some sort of a NASA problem. He is. Not only is he fucking smart and he has a rocket science degree, really talented, like just, it's a cute dude. He's tall and dark hair, and he's got a whole thing going on.
He's got that mystery.
If I wasn't married.
We've kissed the employees' asses enough. They're not really that talented. I was just. Yeah. All right, who's next?
All right, so obviously you guys have worked on a lot of productions, and excluding Red vs. Blue, I just wanted to know what your favorite productions were that you worked on.
Why are we excluding Red vs. Blue, asshole? What's the story? How would you feel if we excluded your question? How would that strike your fancy?
I figured that would be number one, but
yeah, RTX.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing about RTX is? The Monday after RTX.
Yeah, it's going to be over. I used to like being on the podcast till they kicked me off.
Seriously, don't come back.
I want to come
This
back. They won't let me.
misinformation campaign, and nobody ever kicked you off of the podcast. Do you want to come back on the podcast?
They said stop.
Gus, did you ever tell him to stop coming on the podcast?
No, I never said that.
We're as baffled as everyone else. So you're saying you're going to come back on the podcast on Monday?
The Rooster Teeth podcast? Well, now
We are recording one Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
Well, now what?
I know.
Now you've painted me into a corner.
No, motherfucker, you were painting us into a corner, you son of a bitch.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let me tell you something. I'm turning the tables here. We're going to be there Sunday at 10 a.m.
Yeah, Jeff, he scheduled a podcast at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. This is what happens when you leave for long enough. We're at 10 a.m.
I didn't schedule it, by the way. That was Barbara.
Is Zach my guardian here? Do I have anything at 10 a.m. on Sunday?
Autographs?
A lot of people talk.
So Barbara scheduled our podcast at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
She did.
And you approved that.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have gone too. Sorry, I was so ready to go to the podcast, but unfortunately, I got to hang out with Ryan. But anyway, yeah, no, they kicked me off the podcast.
I'm gonna have one in the parking
When was
lot.
the last time you were on the podcast?
I don't 10 in the morning.
You don't do it anymore either.
We kicked him off.
So what's your favorite production that you work on? What's your favorite production you work on that's not Red vs. Blue? Because apparently it's excluded.
I have a boring answer. They shipped us out to fucking Edmonton, Alberta, Canada in January in the middle of fucking winter. It was -20 in the parking lot. People freezing their sinus cavities on the way from the car into the building. We worked on a Mass Effect commercial.
It was December, and I remember we flew to Edmonton, and I looked at the weather before we got there, and it was -20. You were wearing shorts. You got on the plane
I was
wearing
like, that
shorts.
job, we were booked to do a Mass Effect commercial. It was fucking impossible. I was trying to fucking kill myself before I got to the building. Just wear shorts, and we stayed up for 3 days on that thing. And that's a fucking awesome commercial.
Hey, Joel, do you know what the word favorite means? Do you have any idea?
We sat in the hotel. It was at the top of a hill, watching cars slide down the hill on the ice.
Canadians don't know how to drive in the snow. It's a lie. They don't know.
They would just start making their way up the hill and then just drift and then spin and go down the hill.
We literally were driving to the airport, and it was a straight line, straight road, just straight flat, and there was a truck in front of us. And it's like, and Gus is like, is that truck gonna? And it started spinning. It started spinning so fast it spun faster, and then it was gone into the white. It was gone, and it was we're making our plane, getting home, just keep driving, and we made it, and we turned into men on that. And that's our story.
What goes on in your brain?
It was like
I would kill to have 5 minutes inside of you.
No.
You know what? It works either way. Fuck it.
We were actually here earlier. There might have been a pre-panel. No, there was no pre-panel.
That's right, folks. Jeff is not all about head bobbing. He has other skills.
Do you have an answer?
I mean, I love immersion, and I've always loved immersion. Red vs. Blue. I mean, getting back and being able to work on Laser Team was amazing because that's what Matt and I met, and you too, Joel. I mean, we worked on a feature film. That was the first project we ever worked on together back in college, so it was really awesome to be able to get back and do that. But, immersion always has a very special place in my heart.
Did you ever watch that movie they did? The schedule? I never did either.
Bernie gave me a VHS copy.
Are you guys talking everybody just yourself? So it's kind of
he gave it to me in 2001. I lost it. I don't want to watch this.
I have my copy. We could sell it on eBay.
I bet we could make a lot.
I'm sure one of these people would fall for it.
Yeah, someone would be a sucker.
Still not going to watch that movie.
I think Jeff and Gus are having a private moment. I really liked working on Laser Team. That was a ton of fun. Like Bernie said, I almost got to kill Bernie That was the best part. The almost was the worst part. But I mostly do the business stuff now. So some of my favorite projects are Spreadsheet, time cards. That's
You
a
had
good
a
one.
killer email about HR policies.
I
It
did.
totally was fucking
HR policies.
amazing.
It's the best.
Yes. That's my biggest gripe about our success is that you and I used to be friends that could talk.
No, we didn't.
And now it's like, well, I mean, we were acquaintances.
It was all an
And now
act.
it's like, I'll email a person and I'm like, hey, I want to talk to Matt today, and they're like, oh no, Matt can't talk to you.
There's I think that's
Matt's not in town, and even if he was, he's already too busy to talk to you.
that's form BR17.
Yeah, like Matt has 4 minutes for you next summer.
I think the sad part is I think most of the emails I send Matt now, more often than not, have graphs and spreadsheets attached to them. It's not like a hey, what's up? You
It's
wanna
so
hang out?
fun.
It's
I
like,
love it.
Yeah. Let's look at this trending data and see, what it's been doing for the past 18 months.
You guys are nerds.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a nerdy penis. Me too. Let's touch me. Question?
I think we're over there.
Hey, what's up?
Hey guys, I want to say thank you for just all the content you make. I've been trying to plan this trip for years now, and just now able to do it. This is a dream come true. And I wanted to ask, so you've been doing this for years, over a decade now, and me being someone who is a creator because of you guys and inspiring me, how do you keep that flame alive and keep that foresight going for years and years and years?
Just take all the negative stuff and just push it down. Push it down.
I'm pretty good at that.
That's the real answer.
I think for me, I feel like Rooster Teeth is. I'm very lucky to be, part of Rooster Teeth because I've never felt burned out on doing one thing because we've continued to, after we expanded from Red versus Blue, just because whenever I feel I'm getting tired with one thing, there's always something else to move on to and another thing to try to work on or something else to try to expand to.
I'm gonna go the other way. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. It's a compulsion. It's like, no, seriously. You have an idea and then you're like, oh man, now I gotta do that idea, and you don't want to do it, and then you do it, and then I don't know. It's not fun.
Yeah, but Jeff, to be fair, Gus feels that way because Gus doesn't have to work with Gus. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
that's the beatdown for
That's
the
like
rest of us.
like the other night. I emailed you at 2 a.m. because I was asleep and I woke up because I had an idea. I woke up. I don't know if I had a dream or what, but I woke up and I thought we should do a podcast.
Do you want to spoil this?
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen. We should do a podcast where we watch 52 Nicolas Cage movies in 52 weeks, and then in the last week he shows up and he's in our podcast with us, and we review. Yeah, and so I sent you an email at 3 a.m. or whatever, and I wasn't fun. I was like, I gotta go back to sleep. I just want to get it. And
So
you
the
did.
answer is Nicolas Cage.
And we're not gonna do it because you don't want to spend that much time.
I
with it.
replied to
Yeah.
that email in less than 5 minutes
You
after
did,
you
you
said
did.
it. I was already awake answering emails.
So if Yvonne will let us do it, we're gonna make.
So
a
I want to tell you, independent of you and me talking about this,
Okay.
I've had other people in the company already come to me and go like, hey, when are you just starting that Nicolas Cage project? I was like, how the fuck did you hear about
I've
this?
never told anybody other than you and Gavin.
I'm hearing about it. I'm hearing about it. People are asking me.
Are you serious?
Yes.
When are we starting it? Do you have an answer?
What are you doing Sunday at 11 a.m.?
He's doing a Nicolas Cage podcast for the year. Gone in 60 seconds.
But I think the serious answer to your question is, one thing we do at Rooster Teeth is, if there's any overriding philosophy to the way that we approach production, is we tell people when they come to work at the company, make a video that you would want to watch. Don't just make something to service an audience or something like that. Just, would you want to watch this video? Would you want to sit down and dedicate 5 minutes of your life to it? And as long as you make stuff that you would want to watch and make stuff that you love, you'll never get tired of it. We haven't.
Thank you guys.
We're getting so close to the dude in the Grim Reaper costume.
I totally. Gus and I were making a dick joke. We totally missed. What did you guys clap about? What did you say something poignant?
I gave a serious answer to the question. Don't worry.
I gave
Doesn't
a
happen
serious
often.
answer too.
You know, watching this Grim Reaper work his way up the line is like such a metaphor for this panel.
All right.
I just want to preface this by saying the rocket scientists you guys have, as an astrophysicist, I can teach all 5 of you and everyone in here rocket science. It's 8th grade math.
You preferenced this?
It's 8th
you
grade.
You preferenced this.
I said astrophysicist.
It's called a preface, motherfucker.
I'm a physicist, damn it, not an Englishman.
I hate when people try to correct me and they're abjectly wrong. 100%
I am not an
correct.
Englishman.
I want to preference this by saying I'm stupid already.
Too many Jack and Cokes. Anyway,
I doubt you've had more, my friend.
I've had 8.
I don't care.
You don't want to go toe to toe with the
So,
Sorrow.
question for Bernie.
No, you're done.
Oh, you lost, dude. That's it. You gotta take your lumps.
You ruined it in the preference.
All right. So mine's kind of red versus blue rated actually a lot. So when did you? It's 2 parts. When did you realize that it had taken off and you needed to plan ahead in terms of like the story and like distribution, people you had to cast, and then just how far ahead did you plan? Because by the end of season 10, the story was very concise and like wrapped up.
The first part of the question, when did we know Red vs. Blue was going to be a success? It was pretty much overnight, as close as we could get to that. Because it was basically 1 week to the next. We had 3,000 people that watched the first episode, we imagine, because we didn't have video counters back then. And then about 250,000 people showed up to watch the second week. And then by the end of the month, we had 1 million viewers every week. And that in 2003, that just didn't exist. Nothing like that existed. So the popularity of Red vs. Blue in those early days was like falling up a cliff is basically the way it felt. It was a lot of fun. If I look back across everything we've ever done at Rooster Teeth, those early days when things were taking off, that is a very rare, very special thing, and it holds a very special place in my heart.
Do you remember the day that we decided to start? I'm asking. It's like we decided to start sponsorships when we realized we wanted to make a DVD. We were going to do a full season. We wanted to make a DVD. We didn't have the money to make a DVD, so we started the sponsorship model.
Well, we got a bandwidth bill because we had to host the video files. We got a bandwidth bill. Gus calculated it was going to be $15,000 a month for us to serve the video files.
So we created the sponsorship model to help foot that bill, and we came up with the idea of a DVD to help to give people a reason to have done it and to help and to give them something for their support. And you and I, we did I hope this isn't a story I shouldn't tell, but the day we turned the sponsorship model on, we immediately went to lunch. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, we get a notification from PayPal from a system that Gus had set up, and it would come to my email.
And it would make a noise.
Well, I set it up so that when an email came out with that subject, it played from AIM, AOL Instant Messenger. I found a file in there that was a cash register sound, like cha-ching. It made that noise.
It was being silly. It wasn't. It wasn't being douchey. It was kind of. And so you and I went to lunch, and we were at lunch, and we got a call from the office, and they're like, "Nobody understands what's going on right now, but your office is making this cash register sound every second, and it's driving the company crazy. And we don't know what to do. Can we turn your computer off or whatever? Because nobody can work because your goddamn cash register sound."
Yeah.
And Bernie and I were like, "What? What?"
We said
that was the moment for me.
Yeah, we said thanks for calling. By the way, we quit.
We had a big struggle. I remember when we went to figure out how many season 1 DVDs to print, because it was a huge investment, for a spare time business, and we were like, God, I don't know, 10,000? Are we going to sell 10,000 DVDs?
That's how many we bought.
And we were like, I don't know, that seems crazy. We're like, okay, I guess we can do 10,000 season 1 DVDs. Worst case scenario, we'll sell them within a couple of years, right? And you look out there, it's like, we're going to have almost 45,000 people here this weekend over the course of the event. It's like, that wouldn't be enough if we sold to 25% of the people here.
That being said, I encourage you all to buy Strangerhood DVDs. They're 75 cents. It's like an hour and a half of content. It's pseudo-entertainment. I don't know.
Where are we at?
Where are we? Are we here?
Hey guys, I was wondering, what is one thing you guys miss from the good old days, and one thing you guys look forward to in the distant future?
Look behind you.
Yeah. Death's sweet embrace.
One thing we miss about the good old days.
Youth.
Yeah, and I don't think with this panel we can really talk about the distant future. Maybe like 10 years out we can project. I don't know. What do you guys miss from the good old days? I don't miss working 2 jobs. I don't miss that at all.
I miss being in a room, like one single smelly room with my 4 best friends 17 hours a day.
I do not miss that.
Sometimes.
At all.
I do. I do. I honestly do. I love our success, but I can go 3 weeks without seeing you in the building.
Jeff, I just want to point out, there's 4 achievement hunters back in the room that just went, oh.
I don't give a shit about them, though. No, seriously, I could go 2 or 3 weeks without seeing you.
Maybe.
Aaron and I used to live together. We're like best friends, and we like how much of our lives have we spent together? And I don't ever see you.
Why you gotta
I
be a
go
downer?
into your office all the time, and you're not there. And I just like sit down, I sit on your sofa, and I'm just like,
You come in and get drunk in my office all the time.
I do that too, but yeah, I don't know. I miss those days when it was just us in a room.
Have you seen they're tearing down that Congress office?
Yeah, it's like they're bulldozing it.
Yeah, I saw dudes like throwing shit out of a hole in the wall. Like they decided they couldn't take the trash out the door, so they knocked a hole in the wall to throw trash out of a hole. By trash, I mean the entire damn building.
What do you miss?
I don't know. God, it's hard to say. It's weird. Nostalgia colors your memory of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's true.
It was a lot of hard work.
It was a lot of hard work.
It was a lot.
I think actually when we go to RTX and have this event is still so new and growing so quickly. This actually gives me that feeling that we had back in those days of like going to those early events. Like we went to the first PAX and we had DVDs in a suitcase that we were in the hallway, and stuff like that. We've gone to every PAX ever since then in every iteration across the world of that, and it's so RTX is a great opportunity to have that same feeling of nostalgia for those moments.
Yeah,
I think for me it was like that PAX trip, and I think that PAX trip was the first panel that I had sort of participated. It must have been early on, but it was just like a room full of people, and it was like, wow, you can say anything into a microphone, and these people find it hysterical. This is awesome.
Do you know what I remember about your first PAX? They put us on a row of tables all together, and then we were signing autographs. And everybody was like, Bernie Burns, Church, and Gus Sorolla, Simmons, and you signed many times, and I watched you to see how long you would do it. You signed Joel Heyman, Joel.
I knew that I was going to be bigger than my character. I'm going to outgrow it.
It was so funny I couldn't tell you were doing it because I just wanted to see how long you'd go for.
I'm going to outgrow it.
And you never stopped.
Well, let me say, in his defense...
You know what's funny on that trip is that somebody had brought an alcohol breathalyzer. And it was like the first night in the hotel room, and it's like there were no fans or anything like that. And
nobody brought it, Joel. We went out and bought it at Radio Shack. Yeah.
And you guys were having a competition to see who could score highest on the breathalyzer. On the trip, I was like, well,
It cut off at .08, is what we didn't realize.
Yeah.
Once you got drunk, it just stopped. But we were drunk by that point, and we didn't realize it. So we kept drinking, and we thought, man, we can't get above .08.
Somebody finally read the package. And they put that limited to prevent exactly what we were doing.
You're right, I missed that. If we have like less than 2 minutes, we have like a minute and a half left. You want to do super fast lightning round?
Oh, the lightning round.
Super fast lightning round.
Death.
Well, now I get to take your souls.
I have no fucking clue.
What do you say? No, just kidding.
I have no time for kidding. It's a lightning round.
Really? You
if
didn't think
you're
of
gonna
a
dress
question.
like the Grim Reaper, don't point so much.
You're telling me the whole time we talked about you when you're in line, you didn't think of a question that whole time?
Grim Reaper, more like the Dim Reaper.
Yeah. Look at that, sir. That's a professional. He made something out of it. Grim Reaper, the only thing you're killing is our momentum. Next question.
Matt, if you can, since you're CEO, who would you fire first out of the founding fathers?
If who was CEO?
Since Matt is CEO of Rooster Teeth, who would you fire first if you could from the founding fathers?
I thought the question was for anybody up here. I know they were all going to say me, so they don't have to work anymore. Can just dick around all day.
Next question. Well, listen, lightning round.
They're leaving.
What
Nobody
did it
wants to
feel
talk
like to finally quit your day jobs to work with Red vs. Blue full time?
What were our day jobs before Red vs.
No,
Blue?
I'm sorry. What was it? What did it feel like to finally quit your day jobs when you realized Red vs. Blue was taking off?
Fucking terrifying, dude.
I got to sleep again. That was nice.
It was really scary.
Over here?
All right, last one.
Oh no.
Don't panic.
Oh no.
Don't panic.
Nope. No pressure.
I'm kind of short. Sorry.
Someone help her.
She's short.
Sorry.
Really, miss, you couldn't figure out to tilt the mic down? You might not be just short. I just want to let you know that. Might be a couple more adjectives. Sorry.
So my
Colton's in the front going, what the hell, man?
This is the meanest
Colton, this is
thing
the way
I've
it works
ever
for our
heard.
comedy. Heckling goes that way.
All right, go.
So my question would be for Joel, and if you actually were the main character of Red vs. Blue,
Oh, God.
how would you play that out?
Everyone turns into stuffed animals.
All right, we done?
I think that's how you end the panel.
Thanks for coming out, everyone.
Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
RTX.
We love you. Have a great RTX.